Hey Dexter, going through your swings from the video analysis work we did with you at the spring break camp. So want to go ahead and get started here working from the ground up and go over a couple things that I see in regards to your hitting this year that I think are going to help you a bunch during the season. So let's go ahead and get started here. A couple things on our start. Start's in pretty good shape. I would spread out our feet a little bit narrow, and what I would do is just from the start I would kind of take my foot out here and make your stride, or make your base and your foundation a little bit wider in regards to when I start. Take your hands back just a hair. Create that same bad angle, which is fine, but more importantly, just getting more of a base. We got to engage your lower half more in your swing, and I think widening out your base and making them a little bit more athletic will help you do that. So just bring that foot out here a little bit, where your feet are nice and past your shoulders. They're too close to the width of your shoulders, so really separate yourself out. You're nice and a very tall person, so really spread your feet out a little bit and get a really good base, a better foundation to hit from and to work from. So that's in regards to our start here. Let's talk about our stride foot as I go to swing here. So one thing I am going to point out here is my land foot. So as I look at my land foot, just going to draw kind of a circle around it, you're going to notice how it kind of opens up, and as I stride, it lands kind of open. It's very important when we land that we stride, and we stride closed. Because you need to stride closed in order to hit against a firm, closed front side when I hit. But you can see as I land that this front hip begins to open up on me too soon, and that front foot. So at this part of our swing, you don't want your heel to be facing these guys on deck. You actually want your heel to be facing more down the line, or more towards the dugout over here. But you can see right now that your feet or your angle is more facing these guys on deck, whereas you want it to be facing the dugout or facing down the line. And what that's going to do is going to help you keep this front hip closed and give you more power and heavy hit against a firm, closed front side compared to being open. The other thing you'll see is your hands are getting too close to our body. We're not going to get our arms extended here. And you want to make sure that you have that nice power V at contact. You can see it's a little bit deep. You do it afterwards, but try to get that little extension away from our body, and that's going to help you get more power and hit to all parts of the field. So again, not bad. We do have a palm up, palm down thing going. Your head's looking down the barrel. I do like the angle of our leg here. If you go from the ground straight up into your head, you have a good angle in our leg. Your front knee is firm. It's open. So again, we know what to fix on that, and that's going to make a big difference in our swing. But I think you always want to have a little bit of separation in between our knees. You can see that your knees are pretty close together. But if you widen out your feet a little bit, and instead of this heel being here, if you put this heel out here, then it's actually going to give you correct space in between your knees when you hit, just to create that foundation. So we're trying to get more out of your lower half when I swing, and really try to hold that finish. But it's going to make a big difference here when I swing. So one thing at this point is make sure that your hands don't drop. I think that's going to help you if you get your hands up a little bit higher. If your hands are up a little bit higher and they start, they're going to help you work at a downhill angle. And if you start with the way they are now, their hands down low, I'm kind of putting this in red, you're going to kind of work flat or uphill. And what you want to do is you want to be working, they call it short to the ball and long through the ball. So if your hands start here a little bit higher, as I go to stride, make sure your hands go back and away. And right now, as you're striding, your hands are dropping, and we can't create a bunch of leverage. So make sure those hands kind of stay nice and high as you begin to stride and do land foot. You can see that your hands are already dropped, and that's going to create a lot of drag in our swing. At this point of our swing, they need to be nice and high up here still. Hands need to be back and away, so then I can really just drop them in the zone and work downhill. So that's definitely a big one to work on. And what you can do is we call it the high T drill. So I would take a T, Kind of put a tee right here, and you kind of make it high. Make it as high as you can, and you're going to put the tee there and a ball up on the tee, and what you're going to do is you're going to, as I stride, you're going to keep those hands up nice and high so you can work kind of downhill to that ball, and you can work on hitting that ball high off the tee. You'll see that you'll come down here and you'll hit underneath it, and you'll hit on that first box instead of that ball. So the high tee drill would be really good for you to be working on line drives and things, to make sure I'm getting on top of the ball, but I'm getting kind of through the ball, and I'm getting better power with my legs, and that's going to make a big difference. So let's go ahead and check out that front hip and that front foot as well again. You can see that front foot opens up. That's important. That front hip is opening up. That's important to stay closed. You can see that heel is facing these guys when it should be facing the dugout over here. So getting your knees a little bit wider apart at contact, and kind of hold that finish at the end there to go through. You can see at contact, see how we don't get our arms extended here. We have too much angle in my hands, in my arms. So you can see the angles in my arms. At this point of our swing, I want to have what's called kind of they call it sometimes a power V. What you want to do is you want to have your arms to look like this, and your hands actually to be here, and then you would have really stroked that ball to make it a lot harder, but you can see my hands were back up in here. So trying to really work on this power V at contact, maybe off of tee, and those type of things I think can make a big difference for you. So we're engaging your lower half more. We're trying to get you to be a little bit slower with our land foot and slow things down, keeping our hands up high, having a wider base. As I go to swing, work on that high tee drill. Keeping the head at contact, I think, might help you too. I used to place the ball here out in front, and I would just have my eyes look down at the ball after I hit. You can see that after you're done hitting, your eyes are kind of looking out there a little bit. Try to visually see it, and just keep your head at contact. I think that's going to help you a bunch as well. So watch this video over and over again. Do a lot of tee work. Do a lot of soft toss, and really work out these few tweaks in your mechanics, and then go back into your live and put it all together. So we wish you the best this season, and hopefully you got something out of camp and got some good reps to get ready for your season, and come back and see us real soon.